Hello everyone, so picking off where we last were, I decided to start with my feisty little Chocobo. So we're going to talk to Doucette, and then I also decided I would finish this quest, A Pup No Longer, and then get that done. And then finish that side quest that was back in Little Alamigo, and then report to Minfilia. So Doucette. Doucette appears to have caught scent of something. Sniff, sniff. The unmistakable smell of Chocobo clings to you, adventurer. Would I be correct in assuming that you have your own trusty steed? Aye, I thought so. Now tell me, is your bird battle-trained? If not, you might consider seeking the advice of Luciolo over at Ben Branch Meadows. The Ishgardian native is something of a prodigy in all matters concerning our fine feathered friends. He should be able to help you attain greater affinity with your bird. And don't worry about that, that's just the leave quests for there, and so we need to go to Ben Branch Meadows. I'm not entirely sure why we had to pick up the quest there. Perhaps it's because the main scenario quest is in that area at the same time. But since we had that notification, obviously means we can do it right now, so. Luciolo. Greetings, adventurer. Is there something you need? You wish to have your Chocobo trained in combat. That is no small request you make. Riding your bird is one thing. Asking it to take hurts in your name is quite another. I will help train your Chocobo, but on the promise that you will never unduly expose it to danger. Do I have your word? Very well. To begin, we will need a bunch of Geishel greens. You have my leave to pick one from the fields yonder. Return here when you have it. I'll just take the shortcut. Who needs gates and stuff, even though I walked through one. Geishel, whatever, greens. Food for the Chocobo. Cute. Have you acquired the greens? Fresh Geishel greens. Leafy greens originating from the Near East. If they were any fresher, they would still be in the ground. Superb! Then we shall get straight to it. Doubtless you already know this, but Chocobos are highly fond of Geishel greens. They love the leafy vegetables so much, in fact, that they will completely forget their fears in the face of danger. Thus, by feeding your bird the greens, you can prevail upon it to fight beside you, and then, once called, it will be up to you to direct its actions as you see fit. You will find that your Chocobo innately responds to a number of general commands. Give your bird an order, and it will act accordingly, and to the best of its ability. The simple yet effective methodology was developed by the Four-Temps family, one of the foremost houses in Ishgard. And that concludes your lesson. Of course, it is not enough to merely hear about a practice. One must venture forth and attempt it oneself. Summon your Chocobo with a bunch of Geishel greens, and together make your way to Sorrel Haven. The broods that prowl the area ought to be a suitable challenge for you and your companion. Put down 3 of them and return here. And lastly, by a way of advice, I would recommend you keep an ample supply of Geishel greens on your person at all times. Our resident vendor will be able to provide you with as much as you can carry. And now you have companions. Well, Chocobo companion available. And we'll get to that in just a second after we read this little hope bit. In addition to riding him, you can also summon your Chocobo to fight alongside you. To do so, you will first require a bunch of Geishel greens. This Chocobo favor can be purchased in stores. To summon your Chocobo, simply use the green. As a rule, Chocobos can only fight in the same places in which they can be ridden, so don't expect your faithful steed to follow you into the depths of dungeons like the Tam Tower Deepcraft or Copperbell Mines. It's obviously just listing the first 2 because, well, you should have already gotten to those by that point. And like I said earlier in one of the other videos, is a keep from spoilers. So somewhere around here, we should be able to buy I guess right over here, probably. Gissel Greens. Otherwise, they're also located in the city-states, and I can't really list the names offhand. Feather Trader. Oh, I guess you don't have any. Okay, so I will go see if, that mender person over there has one. Why am I running? Boing. He might have some, and if not, I'll have to teleport to one of the city-states. I usually buy mine in Thanalin just because that's where I'm familiar with mine. Aha! Okay, so here we go. Gissel Greens. And I actually missed that you could buy them here. Because for the longest time I wasn't using my Chocobo. Because I didn't know. So I'm just gonna buy, and I think we can still only buy in bulks of 99. Oh, I guess I turned off my unlock. Nobody know nothing. It can be kind of on the expensive side, but... And I'll just... 2 for an even 300, even though I'm going to use 2 right away. So, in the character companion, you can drag this to your hotbar so that you can summon it immediately. I'm going to add it right there, so I'm going to click that, because in that way I don't have to open up my inventory and right-click and use. And then you see now we have access to these various follow, free stance, defender, healer, attacker stance. I would recommend actually placing this somewhere on one of your hotbars. And before I do that, I'm actually gonna use this one, because that's just easy. So we'll have the withdraw there. Follow, which I honestly never really paid attention to before because it wasn't a reason to, but then now that I've more into the game, I realize it is probably more effective to have that accessible, because sometimes your Chocobo might be fighting something and you don't want to, you want to run away, so then you can have him follow you. So I just have them there, quick access. Obviously you can place them wherever you want. I wouldn't really put them here because you're going to have to do that every single time you change your class, unless you happen to play only one class, and eventually you will have a lot of skills filling up these spots, and so eventually I will also have my 4th hotbar here for skills. And then I leave this stuff for my miscellanea kind of quick click tab button things. So yeah. So, ordering your Chocobo. Once summoned to battle, your Chocobo will remain with you for 30 minutes Earth time, or until he suffers injuries grievous enough to make him flee. To give your companion orders, use the commands located under Orders in the Actions and Traits interface. To order your Chocobo to auto-attack, simply select Free Stance. You may dismiss your companion at any time by selecting the command Withdraw. Use another bunch of Gissel Greens to summon your steed again. And something that they changed, so if I actually click this again, it's going to use another one, but now you see it's up for an hour. And if I tried clicking it again, it just resets it to an hour. So at most you would want to use 2 at a time, so you have that full hour. Originally you couldn't do that, so I'd just be careful about that, because you're going to end up wasting some of your Gissel Greens if you go further than that. And now I know why this wasn't actually in my inventory. I never actually paid attention to that. I guess I'm getting a little full here. I might have to move some of these things into my, like this bottom row is just all vanity stuff, so I'm actually just gonna move those down there because, oops, that was a fail. So I can put that armor piece into here. Yeah, so if this is ever full, they will automatically go into your inventory. There's also an option in the system settings where you can change it and change it so that all the new gear and everything goes into the inventory. And usually when you're crafting an item, it automatically goes into your inventory rather than your armory chest, unless you change that setting also, I believe. It's been a while. I have almost everything into my inventory now because this gets filled very fast, especially when you play all of the classes. Once they're the same level, it's not so bad, and also once there's higher up, there's certain gear that you can get. So we don't actually have any of these right now, but there's various Tombstone of Poetics, for example, is the first one you'll get access to, and then you can use those, and I won't explain how you get those yet because I'll get to those when we get to those, but you can use those to get better gear and various other stuff that you can get in the game for different reasons and different things, but you can use those for gear, so then that clears up this spot, the armory chest a bit too. Assuming you have most of your classes in the same level range. So anyway, we now have our companion, and if you see, he follows us along. Pew! And if we open up that companion window again, you'll see the skills here. Currently rank 0, meaning it's like level 0. And then this is the experience bar. Shows us how much time, how much HP it has. And it has the skills, so right now it costs SP to, or stat points I suppose, to increase the various skills for the Chocobo. Now, because I utilized my Chocobo, because I played the different classes, I actually was progressing these in a sort of sequential order. So I first went Defender, actually I first went with Healer because I'm mainly playing as a tank, and so a Healer is more important to me than faster DPS or defending, because obviously I don't need my Chocobo to defend if I'm the defender in the party, so to speak. And so because my damage output is lower, I've opted for a healer. So that was just a personal preference. And so you see the Chocobo regen, enhanced mind, blah 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 blah, etc. So eventually, once I started getting higher up and experiencing more of the classes, I started going into sequential order. And each level that the Chocobo gets, you get a certain amount of SP. I think for like level 1 it's 1 SP, level 2 it's 2 SP or something like that. And these don't all cost just 1. I believe the numbers actually represent how much SP it costs. So this will cost 1, this will cost 2, this will cost 3, so on and so forth. And at some point you'll also need different items to actually level up your Chocobo before you go back onto the field for it to get experience and stuff. But that is a long ways off, so I will get to that sometime later. But so I am going to head out to over there, which is up that tree hill, knocked over tree. What is this? Would this be a tree or would this be a root? I don't know. And usually you go up the stairs, you don't fall off of them. Unless you were doing what I was doing. But anyway, I would think this would be a big tree root. So the question is, which tree is this root for? Or it's just a giant log. But anyway, you're right up here. And we are needing to kill these here. And so I'm going to put... Well, currently we don't have a healer stance. I think that's mostly because we don't have any of those skills unlocked. So the first one I will have is the healer stance. And so right now the Chocobo just does the skills based on what's necessary. And really that's only one thing because there's... well, your Chocobo can't really do anything. And like always with your party, you probably want the creature to be facing away from your Chocobo. And obviously you see there we just got an achievement because Cerulean attains rank 1. AKA he just leveled up to level 1. And then it's explaining companion skills rather. I will kill the, if my mouse wants to cooperate, I will kill this last one here, and then I'll get into the companion skills. So as you can see, the experience went up, so obviously to introduce the skills, it was telling you it was an easy first level. As you can see, it's 4,000 experience now. So, companion skills. As your Chocobo rank increases, he will earn skill points, stat points. These, or skill points, I guess. SP. These points can be used to acquire new companion-specific actions and traits. There are 3 different skill trees you can choose for your Chocobo: Defender, Attacker, and Healer, much of what I just went through. When your Chocobo acquires his first skill from any of these trees, you will also learn that tree's stance, so there you go. Activating the Defender stance will turn your Chocobo into a defensive-minded stalwart. The Attacker stance will transform your Chocobo into offensive force. Finally, the Healer stance will have your Chocobo focus on restoring your HP rather than participating in battle. How you choose to use your Chocobo's skill points is entirely up to you, but remember, once an action or trait has been purchased, the purchase cannot be undone. Think about how you wish to use your Chocobo in battle and choose its path of progression wisely. So as far as I know, there's no limit to the mount or the companion level. It's just a lot harder to get to, so as I said, I'm going to go with Healer, because that's the more beneficial for me, even as a DPS. That's more beneficial because your defense is so low, and if you happen to, well, get hit a lot. So now my Chocobo is in Healer stance. And just to demonstrate, I will beckon this one over, and I will let it hit me. Unfortunately, when your Chocobo's in Healer stance, it always tries to stand behind you, which can be kind of aggravating. I personally wish you could have a positioning thing. So that's gonna hit me. And also petrify me, as it were. And also my Chocobo, as you can see, is frozen. But once it's done, it'll use its skill, see, there you go, and it will heal me. Obviously, it wasn't very effective because it's only level 1. Just the basic healing ability, but as you progress along in that skill tree, it will increase how much like when you're leveling a healer. So also, you see how it's a level 30, Cerulean is level 30, so the damage output that it would put is relevant to that. So if I say I switch to my rogue here, you see how the level dropped to 23. So, you can't have a level 70 Chocobo with a very little class, because it would basically steal all the skills from, well, experience and stuff from you, but so the only way to get experience with your Chocobo is if you make sure you have it summoned. And excuse me. While you participate in fights and stuff, that is how it gets experience. So, well, advice-wise, if you don't want it to do damage, just use it as a healer. If you want to have faster battles, use it as an attacker. Helps if it goes right way. So on and so forth. Obviously, it's a player preference of how you play, and whether or not you well, even use it. So you have successfully negotiated your first battles with your Chocobo. Well done! Tell me, how did it feel? Was it not supremely reassuring fighting with your feathered companion? Your Chocobo can make up for your shortcomings or build upon your strengths. Indeed, there are countless ways the two of you might complement one another. Through some experimentation, you will come to find the approach that serves you best. Before I forget, I have one last parting gift. A saddlebag for your Chocobo. Carrying Gishel Greens about can be quite cumbersome. After all, and there should be sufficient room for your personal belongings should the need arise. I pray it serves you well on your travels. You can now access your Chocobo saddlebag. This supplementary storage window can be accessed by selecting Chocobo saddlebag, located under Character in the main menu. So, Character... And if I scrolled past it, there we go. Chocobo saddlebag. And it's much like your inventory, only it's a Chocobo saddlebag. And originally, when I did this first time, this Chocobo saddlebag did not exist. It was implemented in the last few months, which was a huge help because space was definitely something I needed. Especially with stuff that I carried, especially with all the fishing lures. I really wish there was a tackle box. Anyway, a saddlebag for your Chocobo is now available. This spacious sack can be used as a supplement to your normal storage, with features allowing for the simple transfer of items between the saddlebag and personal and retainer inventories. So say I wanted to put these, you can see how there's the option for use and all those other options. Well, if I had the Chocobo saddlebag, so the quick hotkeys for this and the key bind is Control, Shift, and I. I'm not sure what it would be for PS4 if there's even such a thing. But if I right-click this now, you'll see Add All to Saddlebag, Add to Saddlebag, or I can click and just drop it there. And then there's obviously still the... I can't use it because that's open. But yes. And your Chocobo companion does not need to be summoned to access the saddlebag. However, it cannot be opened while in an instanced dungeon, so be sure to move items required on raids to your normal inventory before commencing the duty. So, that's that, and apparently you have another quest for us. The Chocobo Keep Luculo may be far from home, but has some matters close to his heart that he would discuss with you. Greetings, madame. Tell me how goes the training for avian mount? I don't know, we just kind of finished. I could not help but notice, but there is some bias towards real-life combat. All battle and no bonding makes for a less noble bird. I see that you already have a fine residence of your own. I actually don't, but I am in a free company that does have one, and that's why I have access to this quest, because I have access to a Chocobo stable. And technically speaking, I do have kind of an apartment within the free company house, but that's not really relevant because I still need access to a Chocobo stable. Anyway, why not build a stable for your Chocobo? Closeness leads to fondness, and there are other perks. Indeed, I could tell you of those and more if you wish. We of Ishgard have a knack for Chocobo husbandry. We have forgotten more than Gridania will ever know, I fear. One Ishgardian knack is to stable Chocobos at one's residence. That makes it possible to train and feed the birds. The second knack is to keep the stable meticulously clean and clean up. Keep the stable meticulously clean and picked up. Didn't think something was right there. Chocobos are cleanly creatures and easily distressed by slovenly housekeeping. Shall we get straight to it? Pick up every vegetable scrap littering the stable, if you please. So I guess we're cleaning up the stables for him. That's secretly why he's telling us this. We're doing all the cleaning for him. I guess there's two more somewhere. Over there and over there. And there we go. Have you collected all the vegetable scraps? Very good, I will take those. Vegetable scraps. Random bits and pieces of vegetables, leaves, and fruit left uneaten by a Chocobo. What a messy Chocobo. The place is as fresh as cream. Okay. How will the Chocobos look, fluffing their feathers in contentment? You would do well to lay in a magic broom. You shall need to use those for a proper cleaning. But that is for another time. There is more to stable care than simply cleaning. And that brings us to the third Ishgardian knack, fresh feed. I am not the aptest tutor for this craft, however. There is one that has the knack right here in Bent Branch. That would be Mistress Margot, the resident botanist. She is in charge of all cultivars maintained here for the Chocobos. Go to her and beg a few greens and information from her. She will not stint you on either. And she's just over here. So, we will talk to her. Hello. Some feed for your chocobo. Aye, you come to the right place for it. It has been a warm spring. Try the crocker root. Many birds who would otherwise go off their feet cannot resist this luscious roots. We raise them with love as well as skill. Master Luculo likes to call that a knack. I've no quarrel with it. 'Tis a joy to grow, whether it be vegetables, chocobos, or the skill in one's hands. Why not try your own hand at growing vegetables? You say you have a house. A house must have a field. Food grows with love and care. How could your bird not thrive eating feed such as that? Mayhap we are not what we eat, elsewhere my father would be a codfish, a swim in butter, but the feed certainly makes chocobos, aye. So sensitive is their nature that you can see the effect of a particular feed as clear as day. But I have yet to tell you about the main feeds. You are sure to be fascinated. Shall we ever tire of speaking of the Gishel greens? Precious luscious plants. You can summon and train your birds with these greens, but as wonderful as Gishel greens are, they are hardly unique in being attuned to specific areas of a chocobo's abilities. The art of raising a chocobo involves choosing a balance of these vegetables to feed to your bird, thus creating a chocobo that is, well, just so. The best laid plan of wranglers are often frustrated by a picky eater, though. Do make sure you come to know each bird's likes and dislikes. They are no pieces of magitech to bend to your will, but when bird and woman grow together, why, you might discover something very special indeed. Aye, and you would do well to grow your own feed. May as well fight with a pine sword to raise a chocobo without a vegetable field of your own. Visit a store to buy the seeds, and remember, love and skill, there's the knack. I do go on, don't I? You have come for a handful of feed and got an earful, but that's the way of it with us botanists. Take this fine specimen of crocker root to your sweet chocobo, and I wish you both the joy of it. And so, I guess we have to talk to him first before we actually get it. So we'll do that. Ah, were you able to collect some chocobo feed? Margot is never stingy with her vegetables. Gigantic crocker root. An unbelievably oversized crocker root certain to make any chocobo the happiest bird in the realm. This particular specimen was given to you by Moogle's gift mounts, stable hand, Margot Shortmane. Huh. As fine a crocker root as ever I have seen, a magnificent specimen. This will make the training all the more effective, I believe. We come to the fourth knack of chocobo husbandry, Celebrian. Training. I hear Head Wrangler Keitha about her work. There's a thought. Go and speak with her. She will tell you much and more of training chocobos. And I believe that's person right here. Nice to see you, Venturer. Here to learn about training your bird, you say? Stable your chocobo and you'll be able to train the sweetheart, but you need to give him a treat straight after and not a moment later. What I do is to go pick up a choice bit of feed before I get the bird into training. The results vary, as the slick ruffian at the Ebony Stalls used to say. Around here, results depend on how clean these stables are, what treat you give, but as long as you love your chocobo, it's hard to muck it up. Well now, get a fine crocker root on you already. That'll work a treat, no pun intended. Go on, start training little Leia here. There. Whatever. Hello, little Leia. Did you just kick me? I guess we're not supposed to be standing there. You fed little Leia the gigantic crocker root after her training. I don't think little Leia liked that. That was sweetly done, Venturer. You've some skill at this, I reckon. Some are made to train just that one bird, but you can handle any chocobo. Some Venturers share a stable, you know. Might be you could care for birds other than your own. You muck out the stables, that means you're helping raise the other Venturers' birds as well as your own. Don't matter who did the mucking out, really. Those birds have been cared for, you see. That ought to hold you for a while, No use pouring too much wine into a cup. You'd best return to Luculo before his Ishgardian brain case starts imagining the worst. Obviously that's another way to get experience in various other things is by having it trained in the stable. And there's other means for training, so the training you could also increase the stat points or something, I believe, for a specific skill area. But perhaps I might go through that with this quest. Sweetly done. High praise indeed from Geetha. Excellent, excellent. I have now taught you all the knacks that you must needs know at this time, I believe. It is my hope that you will add a stable to your residence, and there raise a Chocobo to serve as your brave mount and trusted companion. How I long to meet the bird someday. I trust you will not disappoint me. And here we get the Crockeroot. And Chocobo raising. Chocobo raising is now available. To begin raising your trusty companion, you must first stable him. Chocobo stables can be purchased and placed outside free company and private estates. One Chocobo stable can house a whole company's mounts. And then apartment buildings include a Chocobo stable that is shared by all tenants. While a Chocobo is stabled, select Train to increase his experience. After the training is complete, do not forget to give the Chocobo a reward for his hard work. Depending on the type of reward the bird is given, his progress may change dramatically. Continuously feeding your Chocobo a knack of vibrant vegetables or fruits will cause him to grow feathers of a different color. And so if some various, as it just said, fruits and such, it will change the color or the hue of the Chocobo. And there's guides online that you can find to tell you which fruits you need to give your Chocobo, and how many of them, which ones, so tells you which ones and how many of that you will need to give your Chocobo to get a specific color. And as far as I know, there's no limit on what colors you have access to. It's, I don't know. I guess it's just all of the colors. Anyhow, so we are going to... Oh, another thing I recommend, if you're ever idle and you have your Chocobo summoned, just mount the Chocobo or any mount, because then that timer freezes. So if you see, we wait a few seconds, and now I dismount. It'll be at the 37:23, and I'm mounting again at 37:17. And I wait another few seconds. It's at 37:17. Anyway. Okay, we'll teleport over this way, and unfortunately I have to go to more of a dry docks first, because I haven't actually been there, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Anyway. But we will do that, and then I'll teleport back to Little Alamigo and do that side quest, and then I will talk to Minfilia. But now we have our companion Chocobo. Woohoo! And I'm going the wrong way. I need to go this way. And go over to... Nope, I think I went the wrong way again. Yes, I wanted to go down here. I believe the ferry dock skipper person thingy is over here, and as I see it, but I'm not sure if it's the right one, because I think there's a different one. Ah, okay, it is the right one. This skiff is bound for Wolves' Den. Might you care to join us? Yes, yes. Wolves' Den Pier. And test your skill at PvP. PvP player versus player duty involves battles fought against other players rather than in-game creatures, and incorporates an independent battle system with its own set of unique rules. As you can see, the hotbar changed. Final Fantasy XIV offers several different varieties of PvP, from ranked matches to casual training for anywhere from 2 to 72 participants. For more information on PvP, visit the Lodestone, the official player's site for Final Fantasy XIV, and Gives you a QR code. Use this code reader application on your smartphone and access the lodestone to view the PvP page. Or you can visit the website. So I guess this is more handy for those who are on the PS4 because they browser whatever. Or anyone who doesn't want to load it up on the browser. But so it gives you the option of that, and you can see, as I said, the skills changed, and so this skill here is actually all three of the Fast Blade, Savage Blade, Rage of Cologne. All you do is hit it once, and it'll go to Fast Blade, hit it again, Savage Blade, hit again, Rage of Cologne. And then this is a different combination that we don't have all of these, and some of these other skills are skills that we actually don't have either. And as you can see, that also changed there, but that'll change back to something else. But first, we are going to finish that quest, and so we need to go over this way. And so I don't know a whole lot of PvP. I have not yet tried it. I have only, well, I have tried it, except it was only a training, so to speak, and it was against against one of my friends in the game. And so that doesn't really count. So I haven't actually tried any of the instances, mostly because I wanted to focus on the main scenario and try all the other various other things. And I wasn't very interested in PvP, but lately I kind of have been wanting to try it. But yeah, so I'm very inexperienced in PvP, so advice is not something I'm gonna be able to give to you right now, other than to say there are a number of YouTube videos to help you out with that stuff. And I think Reddit also probably has a lot of posts about it too. I don't recall seeing your ugly mug around here before, You say that Swift sent ya? You said he was sending an adventurer, but not some simpering sea louse. Bah! If I'd known it was your sorry hide I'd be dealing with it, I've spit on your recommendation papers and tossed him in the briny sea. But much to my chagrin, ya made it here in one piece. So listen up. They call this place the Wolves' Den, but you're no wolf. No, you're the runt of the litter, a whimpering, drooling pup who'd be lucky to suckle one drop from your mom's teat before your bigger siblings grabbed you by your neck and tossed you aside to starve like the wretch you are. Stand up straight, maggot. This ain't no place for the faint of heart, and I give your sorry arse till sundown before you run home with your tail between your legs, crying for your mum. You're beyond help, but because I'm feeling so darn generous, I'll give it to you anyway. You have a mind to learn something, come back and I'll beat it into you good and proper. Next time you show your ugly mug, I want to see fangs. Dismissed! Friendly chap there. So you have been granted entry to Wolves' Den. The floating arena is used by the Grand Companies of Eorzea as a training facility for their recruits. Inside the pit, you will match your wits against other adventurers just like you. If you are interested in joining the fight, speak with the attendant on the Braveheart. I'm assuming that's that dude that we're talking to. But anyway. And as you could see, there's a couple of quests here. I think it's just to unlock other various things. I will talk to them anyway, just to see what's up. Soft knocks. Soft knocks come to Wolf Place. Learns that Uplanders have many heart thumps for fighty play. Soft knocks is chance for a busy deal. Offers copy hand lending for Uplanders to have better fight play. Crunch bone and smash steel muchly. Now new fighty play is born, name of Rival Wings. Mission of Godmake help... shoot. Clicked. If Laplander wishes to fill Braincase with knowings of rival wings, Softnock's happy to give many tongue flaps. So I'm truthfully kind of surprised that that one was actually unlocked. I thought that was a level 50 thing. You have been granted access to Astrologos, an old Charlian testing site situated in the Dravanian hinterlands, somewhere we don't have access to right now, and not for some time. Here you may take part in Rival Wings, a large-scale wargame incorporating powerful goblin-made machina. Adventurers are divided into two teams, the Falcons and the Ravens, with each side setting out to destroy the core located in the opponent's base. If you're interested in learning more, speak with Softnox at the Wolves' Den Pier. And we will talk to Faint-Hearted Fighter. I'm actually gonna adjust that. And you actually see right now that's different because we're actually in not Shield Oath, but Sword Oath, I think. That's fine. I'll put up there. I'll put there. That's fine. That's fine. Put that there. And put that there. Anyway. The nervous trembling of his legs suggests that this Ari brawler may not be as tough as he appears. Please, I beg you, stay those ferocious-looking fists. I'm not ready for a full-contact sparring. Why, I've only just begun to practice my one ilm punch. Okay. Hi. So, you haven't come to duel me then? My apologies. You have the look of a woman who enjoys the thrill of fight, and I thought perhaps you'd come to challenge me. And for good reason, I might add. You see, the Maelstrom recently opened up a new sparring ground of sorts right here on this pier. Now adventurers can go toe-to-toe without climbing down into the pit. It was all but certain you were just like everyone else, eager to earn a notch on your belt. I haven't the skill nor the courage to put up a fight, but you've the look of a woman who's weathered her fair share of battles. Perhaps you'd like to test your mettle in the ring? Not with me, of course. The officer who oversees the area is just over there. Doubtless she'd be happy to tell you all about it. Just look at that frightful stare. Always on the lookout for fresh blood, or so they say. So we will head over this way. And so this is actually where I tried dueling with my friend. And because we were both kind of curious about how PvP worked. Anyway, what's this? Another wolf pup itching to get into the in the ring, are ya? Well, if it's blood you're after, you need it quick. Fight by ya can slack your thirst here. Before you get rushing off to get yourself bludgeoned, though, there's rules to be learned. Don't you worry, none, lass. I'll teach you all you need to know. And we won't actually get into that, but so here, once you cross this line, you can actually PvP with other players. I think you have to click on the character and right-click and then challenge to PvP or something like that. But yeah, so there's this. If you're wondering, yes, that is indeed a ship, and I believe, actually you can see there's a summoning bell there. And I believe we can actually go up to the top of it. Because I think other stuff gets unlocked as you progress or something. Or it's just for exploring. You see, we're up here, much like the one in Limsa Lominsa. And if you saw on the other side there, there was, unfortunately you can't jump down, but standing over here, you do get a nice view of the area. So I'm just gonna go into first-person mode. And then you can kind of see the area and the ship. And it's, I think it's probably a grounded ship given all the rocks and debris, and my minion is floating in the air there. So yeah. Unfortunately, can't jump down, so I'd have to go the long way. And on the other side there, there's the striking dummies. And obviously there's the aetheryte, which I haven't tuned to, so I'll do that before I teleport anywhere. Otherwise, I will forget. So you can see there's striking dummies here. And they don't have a level, so you can actually test out your skills. So as you can see, the skills are changing as I'm hitting one there, and it cycles through. And that's the next one, and as a spoiler, here's one of the other skills we have access to. Then we have Holy Spirit, which is also a very high damage output one. And then we have Clemency, which is a healing one. It will heal us or any of our party members that we happen to have selected. And then various other skills, the covers to protect that and stuff, but yeah. And then we can hop down from there. So I'm going to tune to this aetheryte before I forget. And I honestly don't know what adrenaline is. I'm guessing that's, I guess you get a super boost or something. Maybe it's like your limit break thing. I'm honestly not sure. Like I said, I haven't done, I honestly thought that was a weird shaped being, not someone crouched down because they're looking at the Lullafell there. Anyway, I haven't done PvP, so I honestly don't know a whole lot. It's adrenaline. I'm guessing it's kind of like a limit break thing. Anyway, so I'm gonna teleport back to Little Amigo. So I will travel on my Chocobo and get over to that area for the side quest, and then I will turn in that side quest, and then I will talk to Minfilia once I get over that way. And I need to go this way. Make sure, yes. This way. And then through here, under the ramp thingy, and out this way. And then travel over that way. Without running into things. No promises. Because where we're headed is up over that way, which is over here, I think. Yeah, it'll be over there. Just somewhere in this gorge area. Yeah, I know you're chasing after me. I am not gonna give you one iota of attention other than just saying this. So as you can see, there's the purple hue, hazy, danger area. Obviously we need to do something here. And there is a poor victim of deadness. And I'll try to draw them all over here, and if I can't, then I will at least attack this one. And as you can see, my Chocobo's healing me, so I don't have to worry about this ambush of sorts. Because my Chocobo's healing me. And I'm gonna attack you because you're a meanie face and I don't like you. So, die. Okay, you're dead. And now I just need to finish attacking these guys, and as you can see, my Chocobo is basically healing me faster than they can do much damage to me. And unlike with your actual healing classes, I do not believe that the Chocobos have a MP bar or anything to be concerned about. I believe it's just a cooldown of how long it takes in between healing or using whatever skill. So it's just a skill cooldown more than anything. So, yeah. I personally use my Chocobo as much as I can. Just because it makes things faster. And Especially when you get in the higher levels, it takes a much longer time to level up unless you do all those quests and such. So if I don't happen to have any quests to do, leveling can be pretty long, but if you do your roulettes and stuff like that, that actually really helps. And there's more roulettes than just the leveling one. And we need to talk to Franfing. Thank you, outsider. Your victory is already the talk of the town. That may not mark at the end of the Corpse Brigade, but at least now they know we're not afraid to fight back. And to think these men and women were once my countrymen. Do they know no shame? Back in the heyday of Alamigo, the Corpse Brigade served our nation with pride and honor. It saddens me to see that what they have become. But I would slay them down to the last if it would ensure that they besmirch our homeland's name no more. And like always, we don't really need any of those, but we'll just go for the vitality one. And thusly, I believe that's it for this area for now, so we will teleport to Horizon and then head over to talk to Menphilia. And then see where that takes us, because I truthfully can't remember, and I forgot to look it up before. And hi Tataru, bye Tataru. Wait, Tataru, you were there, weren't you? Oh, she was there. Breaking Sands. And we won't talk to anybody else since I already did that the other day. I'll just not know what they're saying. Hello, Menphilia. Welcome back, Celebrian. I'm reliably informed the investigation took you to Quarry Mill and then Little Alamigo. So tell me, were you able to learn aught of La Habrea? Planted the knowledge of summoning in impressionable young minds, you say? Precisely the kind of deception the Asians would employ. While many of the ills that ail the land can be attributed to the calamity, some are being brought about by malign will. We must needs delve deeper into this while things remain quiet on the primal front. All work and no play makes Menphilia a dull scion. Did you say something? Nothing, milady! Run away, run away! Mayhap we ought to rest a while before speaking further of the investigation. Well, technically I already had a rest because I didn't talk to you right away, so I will pretend we had a rest now and now talk to Menphilia. Menphilia has another lead for you to pursue. While you were tending to business in Thanalan, some new information arrived courtesy of our friends the Sylphs. An individual fitting La Habrea's description has been sighted in the North Shroud. This sighting comes in the wake of a series of mysterious deaths in... mysterious deaths in... once I find what I'm looking at. Awake of mysterious deaths in the self-same area. My instincts tell me that our man is involved. I would have you continue your investigation where you left off. 12 willing, we will pick up La Habrea's trail once more. And Noraxia can furnish you with the details. Pray speak with her and take it from there. As always, be careful out there, Celebrian. And whoopsies, I double-clicked and then I ended up dragging the thingy instead, and yeah, I'm not entirely sure how I managed to do that. Okay, so we need to go over this way. I know, as I said, I'm not going to talk to everybody again. I'll just say hi to the random people. Noraxia. Walking One is to investigate Sinister One, then heed well this one's words. This one is friends with Walking One in the Ashcrone Consortium. According to Friendly One, a digging one named Medrod had an encounter with a scary masked one. This masked one is most certainly Sinister One. Walking One should go and speak with Digging One Medrod. Digging One is to be found at Melgrode Float in the North Shroud. So, to the North Shroud we go. Unfortunately, once again, not attuned, so... I think going to Gridania and then going out this way is the fastest, but I'm not actually sure if we have access to that gate or not. So we'll go to Bent Branch Meadows first, because I think that's the only way I can go. And if it's not, well, oh well. I'll find out. Might as well go the way I think I can go and not just waste time in trying to figure it out. Anyways, and as you can see, there's these quests. I haven't actually done them because there's just the early ones. I will get to them eventually. But maybe perhaps when there's a delay in, say, my level isn't high enough to continue the main scenario quest, and I have to level up a character or something, or a class or something like that. But I'm in no hurry. And that one is in fact a level 29 one, but we will do that some other time because I believe we end up in this area at some point anyway. So as you can see, a bunch of level 32s, and fortunately we are at that level at air range. We have some Spriggans who don't like me, so they're gonna chase me and probably throw their stones at me, like I said. But, ha! Joke's on them. I'm out of the area, so they can't chase me anymore. Nah, 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 nah. And you can see now we're into level 26 classes. And we have a bunch of quests here, and these quests I will do once we get over to this area and I have attuned. And as you can see, the running is also a lot slower, unfortunately, but not a whole lot you can do about that until you progress in the main scenario quest and or unlock stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff. So, tuning to the Aetheryte, and I will also set it as my home point, because I believe we're going to be here for a bit. Set home point. I think there is a Chocobo keep somewhere around here. Yes, down there. Which is also where we need to head for our main scenario quest, so conveniently that's where we would notice it. And so, heading over in here, we need to talk to Medrod. Please leave me alone. I'm not long for this world. I look death in the face. 'Tis only a matter of time before he comes to me, just like he came for that poor woman. What? Hiding. You wanted words with Medrod? Well, as you can see, that might be tricky. He's been that way near a fortnight. If you need him to make sense in a hurry, might be as I can give you some advice. Though he looks a man grown, Medrod's still a little boy on the inside. You might try feeding him a serving of lentils and chestnuts, his mother's specialty. Stuff should be easy enough to find in Gridania. Oh, and a few soothing words wouldn't go astray either. Nothing like Mummy's cooking and her expert ministrations for a skinned knee, as it were. Medrod, it was horrible. A waking nightmare. Cannot unsee. Oh gods, what have I done to deserve this? Mummy! Sob. And I guess we already had lentils and chestnuts. So we will hand that over to him. You found it! This is my favoriteest dish in the whole world. Mom made this for me whenever I felt glum. It never failed to make me forget my... Wait a minute! You're trying to make me tell you about that, aren't you? No! Too horrible! You're right. It's not as bad as it seems. And if you missed what I did, I soothed him. Or attempted to soothe him. I saw something terrible, that's true, but that hardly means I'm going to suffer the same fate. Thanks to you, I can think straight again. I believe I can even recount what I saw without losing it. It was just another ordinary day. I was heading back to the float when I noticed a suspicious character in the distance. A masked man garbed head to toe in black. He had a hideous fiend in tow, a winged creature that was all eyeball and jagged teeth. Taken by curiosity, I crept as near as I dared. To see the corpse of a woman! One glimpse was enough to tell me that she died a gruesome death. In that instance, I knew right away that the masked man was a minion of Thal, came to claim her soul for his realm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that wasn't. What? You're investigating the same masked man? If that's the case, we'll help you in whatever we can. Why are you not turned to face me? Aye, anything to ensure that we won't have to suffer Medrod's hysteria ever again. Oh, right, teamwork. That's what I wanted to. Wait, I haven't been that bad, have I? At any rate, I'm all for helping this adventure. It's the least I can do to repay her for bringing me lentils and chestnuts. Hooray! Another level. And a chocobo standing on a table. And unfortunately my camera wasn't facing its butt. Idian has a proposal to make concerning your investigation. So here's what I know about deaths. The deaths. All the victims were found with their faces torn to shreds. Creepy. Among the local fauna, only the scalekin known as this could inflict such wounds. That's why some folk are pointing the finger at them. I somehow doubt that the answer is that simple, but for the sake of thoroughness, we should look into it. Why don't you put down, say, 6 of the creatures and see if you can find any proof connecting them to the deaths? Okay, and we have to go over that way. But before we do that, I guess I didn't actually need to do that. I will talk and pick up the side quests because I expect they'll also be in that direction. Summerhild of Felgord Float would ask your aid on behalf of a forgetful friend. How do you fancy Felgord Float, traveler? Fine tea, warm beds, and good ale, and good company at the Bobbing Cork. Small wonder that it's many a wayfarer's favourite stop on the road to Corthus. Speaking of the Bobbing Cork, I was sharing a drink and a tale with a traveller just a few bells ago. Apparently the poor fellow imbibed a bit too heavily, and when he came to, the key to his room was nowhere to be found. What with all the rumours of late, both my friend and the innkeeper are worried sick. If you happen to stumble across the key, would you be kind enough to return it to the Cork? You'd be saving more than one man a sleepless night. Absolutely positively. And there's a side quest here. And we'll do those later. Godwin of the Wood Whalers has a report that requires urgent delivery. Hail, adventurer. If you would not be adverse to courier duty, I have a report that must be delivered to Florentel's Spire with all haste. Mind you, this information is highly classified. I trust you to deliver it directly to the hands of Serpent Lieutenant Vortvart without sneaking a peek for yourself. And I believe that's there. Get to that after. And we'll talk to Gugulata, who is over here. Gugulata. Gugulata doesn't want to go home. A cozy bed, warm meals, fine spirits. I tell you, friend, ever since I came here, it's like I've died and gone to no ficus bosom. Go home to Ulda, to that ramshackle hovel where nothing awaits but my guilt-pinching wife and her endless whining? Wait. Did we help this guy in Ulda? Sheesh, I'm pretty sure that's the same dude. In one of the earlier videos, like one of the first videos, and he and his wife were arguing or something. I'm pretty sure this is the same dude. Anyway, go to the ramshackle hovel where nothing awaits but my guilt-pinching wife and her endless swinging? Never. Perhaps you can help me. My wife's hired some poor sop to bring me home, but I reckon this'll give him a change of heart. Huh. I'm pretty sure that's the same dude. I'm pretty sure. Well, the name looks familiar. The Lalafell looks familiar. The story of the wife sounds familiar. Ah, I wonder if it is. I'll have to look in the map of my previous videos and find out. And we need to go up here. Lottie houseboy. What do you want? By the way, that was a blue mage, and I realized after the fact. What do you want? Oh. I also just realized I might have actually didn't help them out. Sorry, dude. I think you needed the skill to cast, and I interrupted them, and yeah, I thought he was dying. Oops. Mind your own business, Celebrian. What do you want? The missus paid me good coin to bring her good-for-nothing husband home. Small envelope. Contains a brief letter written in shorthand by a tiny man. Wait, what? Contains a brief letter written in shorthand by a tiny man. Your kill don't mean nothing to me. The missus paid me. What in the hell's room of me own here at the Cork, plus all the ale I can drink? Fully paid courtesy of Gogolata. Get out of my way! I'm gonna give that man a piece of my mind. Okay, thank him, I'm guessing? Perhaps, maybe? I don't know. Oops, I didn't want to click that. I wanted to click that. I looked for green and that's what I want to go this way. Let me just say you both for... I'm gonna pick up that side quest there. And then head it over this way. And I don't think we're going to be able to sneak past that without being noticed. Oh, maybe we will be able to. But of course there's the fate here. Wait, I just ran past where I needed to go. Pay attention. I'm guessing the side quest is up there. Huh? So I need to head upwards. And upwards is over this way. Somehow. We'll let them do their thing. Upwards, upwards. I always get lost in here, especially when it's dark time. Yes, dark time. Inside joke. Ah, okay, so this is what I was looking for. You can either go up here or go around. Anyway, I'm gonna pick up the side quests and see there's this up here as well. And that wasn't a pun, that was... Actually, that was kind of a pun. Not intentional, but... Laughing Fury. Adamar. Adamar is in the dark and needs an adventurer's aid. Pray help me, friend. I've run clean out of lantern fuel and I'm afeared I won't make it through the night. I've not tried it myself, but I've heard that you can fashion makeshift lanterns by sealing those flying balloons inside these here lamps. Of course, it might take some coercing before they goes in, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I don't think anything would want to be trapped in the confines of, well, this. So I'm gonna kill the Zis first, since I need that anyway. And I am then going to do that quest with the balloons, and aka the bright balloon. So, hello bright balloon, you are soon to be a lantern. How nice of me, right? Right? Weaken and then capture bright balloons with lamps. I need to do that with 2, and of course that spawns just now. And darn it, because I have my setting. At least I know to do that. That's one of them. Guess that's where the key item thing would be coming in handy, and of course, because I am, I think, in a level that won't— oh, look at that tiny room key. Why it's on a branch in the middle there, who knows, but I will get that in just a second. Of course, that would be probably why the button key items is useful. Ta-da! And I'll just run around here. Hop up onto this and tiny room key. And so here we need to kill the Zis, and there's obviously the quest there, but we will turn in that first. And then go kill the Zis. And that's actually for the fate, so pay it no mind. Adamar. Were you able to fashion some lamps for me, friend? I sure was. Balloon lamp. An underdeveloped void-sent balloon thrashing about inside the globe, ready to self-destruct at any moment. You're a godsend. Thanks to you, I can get back to me digging. Them's a golden there hills. Hi-ho! I guess he has another quest for us. Namur could use a lift. Mayhap you can help me again, friend. I've got me eyes set on a new veins of ore, but these legs of mine aren't quite long enough to get me there. Might you be so kind as to set these ladders up for me? I do it myself, but these parts have been terribly dangerous of late. Yippers, I guess I can do that. Once I run back this way, because it won't go this way. Or at least it's not supposed to. Oh, I guess it will. Well, you sucked. So I will run, and I guess I will set up, but there's another resist, so I'll drag you over this way, because I need you to die. That other one should ignore me soon. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. Yes, there we go. Just far enough away. There. So we need to set up the ladder here. Destination. No, not near ladder. I guess I can just click that now. Used for reaching those out of reach places. And the other one is over on this side, as long as I don't try to run through a stone. Or is it down there? Yeah, it's down there. Well, I will grab that first. And that one. And then drag them over here. And then beat them to a pulp. I mean, kill them. I mean, hi, I'm a friendly person. I'm not hitting you, not stabbing you, not attacking you. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just being friendly, old friendly. Right? See, I'm just scratching your back. No? You don't think so? You're probably right, but, what do you know? Not much soon. And then I'll head over that way. Because that's where we need to go for one of the quests. But I will first just drop down here. And do that. And do that. And I'm not close enough, so now I'll do that. There we go. And we see ladders set up, and oh, I guess I'll kill you first. Since you are here, and I need to kill you. And that person apparently is lost too. It is so easy to get lost down here. It's not. I'm not even kidding. You have to head this way first. And there's only 2 ways to get up from that area without having to go all the way over that way. Oh. Apparently, there's that. I definitely don't want to hit that. Because if I hit that, I will die. Because it will hit me and kill me. And apparently that spotted me. Oh well. I guess I'm killing an extra one. Fortunately, it's not an aggro one, so I'm not worried, but if I had one of my skills that were an AO of sorts and I was a little careless, such as my splash ability, I might attract it, and as I said, I would die. And that would not be nice. So that's a cliff of middle to nowhere, and yes, I know I just ran through this. I don't care. I just need to go this way. And over this way, and then I need to ignore the Banamite because I'll probably have to kill them later. And then I need to turn, and I can either go up there or go around that way, but I'm going up this way because I need to head over this way to talk to... No, not that way, this way. To talk to, dude that was over there. Whomever it was. Now this dude is not supposed to follow me over here. Because it's supposed to be a safe area. But it sometimes works and sometimes doesn't, so I guess it's gonna die, and then I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so as I was saying, the other annoying thing is that, you see how I'm dodging AOs? I kind of wish you had the abilities like you did with your carbuncle, so you could actually tell it to move to a different spot, and then you're placing them there, and then you have them follow you, etc. Because much like with your Chocobo here, it would be much more helpful if you can place them in an area where you know it won't be hit by AO, but is still in the range to actually be effective for your healing if you're using it as a healer, and so on and so forth. Truly, you've done me well again. What with all these nasty critters lurking about, I never could have done the job myself. I know not what manner of ore lies in wait, but mark me words, one day I'll strike it rich and leave this place behind for good. And now I'll head over that way. And I will ignore all this. It doesn't really matter if I have the fate item, because whatever. It's one of those collecting ones which either you can fight or collect, and it's just a little time consuming, more than some other fates. Vertifart. Vortefart? These parts abound with particularly ferocious beasts. You do well to keep a wide berth, adventurer, lest I be left to clean your carcass off the forest floor. And the Felgord report. A detailed account of the events that have occurred near Felgord Float. A report from Godwin, you say? Very well, let's see. Traveling merchant waylaid by Quaker bandits, adventurers hand-bitten clean off by feral Zis, etc., etc. The usual banalities. What's this? Sightings of a masked man. No casualties yet reported, but due vigilance should be exercised. Troubling news indeed. These parts are perilous enough without some masked marauders stirring up trouble. Thank you, friend. Rest assured that the Adder will be on the lookout for this interloper. And we'll talk to Oriane here. Oriane of Florental's Spire is concerned for the trees. As a wood whaler, it is my sworn duty to protect my nation from the Ixal. Yet as a Gridanian, it pains me to see the trees around me wither and die while we are off fighting battles. Shroud hares have grown destructive of late, gnawing away at trees and ripping shrubs from the ground. Yet we cannot very well tell the birdmen to stay their spears while we hunt oversized slugs, can we? And so I turn to you, adventurer. Pour this week's old ale over the scarred trees, and the culprit should be along in short order. You would bring the much sucker if you would put them down. And of course, I realized that if I had started by going over this way, then I would have been in all the positions that I needed to be for... yeah, I thought as much. Ah, shoot. I still haven't figured out how to disable my Windows key while playing. I know there's a way to do it, and there's supposed to be a very simple way to do it, but... oh well. Hopefully the rest of them will ignore me. Flat ale. That's one. And soon to be another. Oops, that is not the button I wanted to look for. This is the button I wanted to look for. I was looking to see what level my rogue was, to whether or not I used it or not. And that's one down, and if they follow me, they follow me. And so the next one was just over here, and then somewhere. I'm not sure where. It should be somewhere in that area. I think it's underneath. Or it's over there. I will find out as soon as I kill this one. There we go. Jump on the Chocobo. And it should be just over here. Somewhere. Can I jump on this? Okay, good, I can. Is it up there? I bet it's up there. We'll take a look before we jump down somewhere. Ooh. We sneaked. We were sneaky. Ah, yes, here it is. We sneaked. Okay, and so once we kill this one, I was wondering why my cord for my headphones was all weird. It was underneath my cord for my microphone. Anyway. So we got that one, and then I think we just need to turn in the quests. Obviously we need to head back over this way, which is not hard. I mean, it's like right there, so it doesn't matter if those follow me because they will not be allowed to go over into this area. And as you can see, they already turned around and like, run away, run away! Orianne. Thank you, adventure. I can battle the XIV with a clear conscience now, knowing that those like you are friends to the forest. Florentel, whose name the spire bears, was one of the greatest heroes from the time of Gridania's founding. His martial exploits were exceeded only by his love for the forest, and his love for Eugenia, the namesake of her sister Spire. Do such tales of yore not set your heart aflutter? Not particularly, but... oh, I guess you have another quest for us now? Array needs your help in obtaining something not easily come by. As you have proven yourself a capable ally, I would entrust to you a task more ambitious than the slaying of hares. Mayhap you have encountered curious constructs of living stone in these parts. They emerged from the sundered landscape in the wake of the calamity, and their numbers have only burgeoned thenceforth. For each one we slay, another rises to the surface to take its place. My comrades and I are at wit's end. It is clear that we must take this battle to the source. There is a researcher by the name of Epocan who frequents the bobbing cork in a fall-gourd float. I suspect she might be able to shed light on the matter. Take this sealed vessel and capture the living soul stone of one of the golems. Mind you, you will not have... Take this sealing vessel and capture the living soul stone of one of the golems. Mind you, you will have to weaken the brute first. Deliver the soul stone to Yum Ipcan and see if she cannot ascertain the golem's origin. So, we have to head that way. Unfortunately, the fate is done, so we don't have to worry about that. And normally I would be worried about falling, but I'm not, so yeah. Then we just kind of have to go roundabout ways. Because I don't think you can go through there. I think you can, but I could be wrong. I might as well go the way that I know I can. And this can. I know I can. And, yeah. Oddly enough, that one didn't count. Oh, I see. That's a clay golem. I need a pumice golem. Hi. Can I hop up here? Oh, but I can't go further. Curious. Curious, most curious. It seems like it's a pathway to something bigger and better and bigger and stuff. Curious. Most curious indeed. Anyway, oh shoot. I just killed and slaughtered instead of actually doing what I needed to do, and yeah. Okay, let's try that again. I need to weaken this. And then I need to use that. Ta-da! Now I'm done doing what I needed to do. And now I will head back into town, because that's actually where I need to go, and I will just ride my Chocobo. I'm not going to waste 100 gil just to teleport, even though it'll save me maybe a minute of time. Maybe. I'll just have... Actually, I'm going to slip this way. This way might be better. I don't know. Probably not, but it seems faster than going that way. Because it's kind of roundabout and turny and stuff like that. Those are giant mushrooms. And we have flickering shadows. There we go, that's better. We will turn in those side quests first, and then we'll go talk to whomever it was for the main scenario quest. As I hippity-hop my way over. Aeolian. Bloody souse, that's why I always say if you can't hold your liquor, stick to tea. I'm sorry, do you have something for me? I have a tiny room key for you. A key to a private room at the Bobbing Cork. Why, I've searched everywhere for that key. You're a godsend, friend. You must forgive me. There are rumors of late of suspicious masked man in these parts, and they've got both me and my customers on edge. Anyway, thanks to you, that ale-swilling fool can sleep soundly in his bed tonight. You'd do well to find safe lodgings as well, friend. I guess you have a quest for us, but first we'll talk to Gogalata. Haha! It would seem your efforts were success. My wife's associate just stopped by a moment ago. He seems he wanted to express his gratitude in person, downed a pint of ale and dashed right off to his room, where he's sleeping quite soundly if his rather conspicuous snoring is any guide. The comfort of life on the road. Or the comforts of life on the road. And I guess you have another quest for us, but we'll talk to Yum Epican first. Yum Epican, why that's me. At least that's who I think I am. Did you need something from me? Living soulstone. Though removed from the body, this heart of a golem still throbs with magics. Gummus polems? I fear I'm not familiar with them. Pumice golems, on the other hand. Oriane has told me all about them. Let us see what you've brought me now. Oh, I can just feel it pulsing with energy. You've certainly found a live one, haven't you? I must begin my analysis straight away. Now, where did I put my glasses? Nope, they're not on your head. Unless they're under your hat. We'll talk to Eilwyn. Eilwyn of the Bob and Cork would ask you to help with housekeeping. You see that painting over there? Well, of course you can't. It's covered in fortnight's worth of dust, thanks to my do-nothing employees. I dust them right off myself, but I reckon the sluggards would better learn their lesson if they saw a customer like yourself doing the deed. What do you say? A few swishes with a chocobo duster should be do the trick, and I'll make it worth your while. Sure. Gugalata has a confession to make. In all truth, friend, I would like nothing more than to return home to Ulda where my loving wife awaits. That is, were it not for a small complicated matter. Wait, what? For not a small complicating matter. My wares, you see, were stolen from me by the positively frightful band of Quaikern thieves encamped to the south. Why were I to return home empty-handed? My wife's wrath would make the calamity look like a minor brushfire. No, I fear I have no choice but to prolong my stay. Until I find them for you, and then you'll be ho-hum-de-hum-hum. Stunning painting. Master. Use. Looks the same to me. And the other one, unique painting. Chocobo duster. A simple duster woven from chocobo feathers. No chocobos were harmed in the making of this handy household cleaning tool. And of course, my chocobo stands in the way. And once again, looks the same to me, but it's kind of nice. Anyway. Alwyn. Thanks, friend. If only my employees shared the love of fine art that you do. You and I do, eh? The painting upstairs especially. Don't ask me why, but the lonesome figure standing there gazing off into the distance. I'm not usually a sentimental type, but it stirs something inside me. Is he wistfully remembering adventures long past? Or steeling his nerves for a battle to come? Sadly, what with the artist's identity a mystery, we might never know. Although the person up there seemed to think he knew. Anyway, Eilwyn is concerned for the well-being of one of his customers. Just look at the time. Whatever is keeping her. My apologies, friends. You've caught me in a fretful humor. A young girl has reserved a room with me tonight, yet she's nowhere to be found. There's ill rumors about these parts of late. Try as I might, I can't help but fear the worst. Might you be so kind as to go check if she's well? If all's well? That ends well? I don't know. Trouble on the road, no place like home, so we'll do the main scenario quest and then go out and do those side quests. Is hippity hop my way? Hippity hop, hippity hop, hippity hop. Talking to Iding. You've already seen to the Zis? Good work, adventure. So were you able to find aught to suggest the creatures are our culprits? Nothing. Truth be told, even if there were proof, I wouldn't know what to do, what it looked like. Anyway, I believe we can safely strike Zis off from our list of suspects, which leaves us with the masked man and his winged eyeball. Well, that is a good indication that's probably it, and apparently we have two dual quest things? Ivaroth has information to share regarding your investigation. There is something you should know. I have been keeping this to myself, lest I worsen Medrod's paranoia, but I too have seen the winged eyeball. I cannot say without whether it was coincidence, but my sighting took place precisely the same time as Medrod's. I was heading home after a day of digging when a shadow fell over me. Looking up, I found myself locked in a gaze with a giant eyeball. I let out a scream at the top of my lungs and ran without once looking back. This happened at the rocky area west of here, in case you had a mind to investigate. And Aideen has further knowledge of the mysterious deaths. There's something else I heard about the deaths. It appears all the victims have been commonly maidens. I better watch myself, eh? Unseemly japs aside, there's a rumor been going around. There's some as whisper that after each victim died, a rancor went into the great big rock southwest of here, causing it to flash and moan. This bears investigating, I reckon. I'm going to give you a fire-stand stick to blow off a piece of that crag. The stick doesn't come with a fuse or anything, so you'll have to throw the thing. Once you've torn the rock a new one, bring back some of the fragments. I'll give them a gander. Okay. So... those are all the tiny quests. I'll ignore those, so... we will head over this way. Namazu Mount. And we'll do this to this to this to that. And then circle back. I think that's the most efficient. I could be wrong. As long as it gets done, it gets done. Where do I need to go? I need to go over here. And I see there's Quikern. Can I sneak that way? Nope, and I draw that one over there as well. Oh well. As long as my Chocobo is healing me, I'm okay. And that's it for the Quacker. I will kill this dude next, and obviously there's another one that just attracted itself to me. If I have to run away, I have to run away. I can also switch my Chocobo to attack mode if necessary. But at this point, probably healing is the best bet. The Chocobo will also heal itself, so keep that in mind. And there we go, that should be the last for that one, and then Quikern here. There we go. Go Galata's Vendables. And we'll jump on the Chocobo so we can run away! Run away! And then we'll head over there. Trouble on the road. I believe is right there. And we'll sneak past there. And if we make it into here, that clay golem should actually ignore us, provided we stay within this purple huey thing. You see, it ignored us. So that's one of the convenient things. The safe zone is not the safe zone. Or, I mean, the not safe zone is the safe zone. There we go. That's what I meant. And so that disappears. Thank you, friend. Why, I thought it was done for. Why were you looking out and about then? One moment I was standing here enjoying the scenery, while my Chocobo enjoyed a much-deserved nap, and the next, it sends shivers down my spine just to recall it. Anyway, please thank the innkeeper for his concern, and tell him I will be on my way as soon as my bird awakes. And as you can see now, it's actually paying attention to us. And it's soon to die, because it was bugging us. It made the mistake of bugging the wrong Celebrian. Or penguin. Anyhow. And so I will head over this way now, as I need to talk to that. And then after I do this this main scenario quest, that will probably be it for this video. And I need to use that to blow up that. And I need to collect the humming crystal, which apparently there's 5 of them. And then I will go do this main scenario quest, and depending on what the next one is, that'll probably be the last thing for this video. I did spend a lot of time doing the Chocobo bit. I think it was around half hour or so. Yeah. And then the next video I might do these crafting class quests that I have not yet finished, because I should definitely have access to those areas I should have actually technically had access to them before already anyway. And destination. A very long surveying of the ground area. Heavy banamite. And that should do it. There we go. And we'll head back into town. And have to go that way. Yeah, so there isn't a way to go over this way. You have to go upwards. Anyway, so head back into town and then turn in these quests, and depending on main star quest, that'll probably be it. I imagine there's another fighting one or talking to someone. I'll find out. So I'll turn in those side quests first after I actually go to where I need to turn first. Because I need to go back into the inn over here. It's a nice looking inn as well. We'll talk to Gugalata. Oh, woe is me. A merchant without his wares is not worth a lump of upu dung. How can I ever show my face to my dearest wife again? Gugalato's vendibles. Goods stolen from the merchant Gugalata by the Quaikern bandits. My wares? Why, wherever did you find them? The Quaikern camp? Exactly as I told you? Preposterous! Why, I didn't think you'd actually... ahem. That is to say, I'm in your debt once again, friend. Thanks to you, I can at long last return to Ulda, where my loving wife awaits. Then again, there are those nasty rumors going around of late. A masked man, was it? Indeed, the roads may not yet be safe, though it pains me so I fear I've no recourse but to sojourn here a while longer. Uh-huh. The girl's safe. Thank you, friend. Those are the best tidings I've received all day, and here I'd feared the worst. Why, if she'd ended up in the clutches of that masked... But I mustn't think such ill thoughts. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd best get back to work. Something tells me that girl will be needing a warm bed and a hot meal more than ever. Probably. And... well, any of those would be good. What is this? A necklace. Well, we will go with this one. There we go. And we're... oh, you have another quest for us. I guess we'll talk to you first. Otherwine would ask you to make a special delivery. My dear lady, I dare say you're more reliable than the rest of my hired help put together. For better or for worse, this means I got another job for you. I've got 3 basket lunches here that need delivering to Finder's Bluff. After the last adventurer scarfed down 3 boxes on his own and ran off without paying his tab, I need someone I can trust. Well, we will gladly do that for you, and that's over there, but we won't get to that just yet. But we'll talk to the dudes that are in here. First, we'll talk to Iberalt. A monstrous banamite appeared, and you slew it. The creature had long been a scourge upon the folk of me and my clicking too fast. A monstrous banamite appeared, and you slew it. That creature had long been a scourge upon the folk of Falgord. Intentional or no, you have done us a great service. You have my gratitude. But this does make me wonder, was it truly a winged eyeball I saw? Or merely a trick of light combined with blind panic? Oh, it was probably exactly what you think it was. Why is it always yellow pants? Seriously, yuck. That looks cool, but I think I'll go with that. Idling. Most folk are too scared to go within 100 yalms of Rock of Rancor. Aye, it has a name, but what's a few vengeful spirits to a dauntless adventurer like you, eh? Lightning aspected crystal, bigger than a shard but not quite large enough to be a cluster. The energies emitted by this crystal lightly tingle the hands of one who touches it. Huh? Why, these are just your garden variety crystals. It's a bit hard to tell beneath all the dirt and crime, but they're definitely lightning aspected. I almost hate to say it, but that explains the flashing and the moaning. Nothing to do with a masked stranger. Looks like I've gone and wasted both your time and a perfectly good fire sand stick. Oh well. Better to rule it out than anything. And Medrod. That doesn't look creepy at all. Medrod is troubled by the dearth of new developments in the murder investigation. They've been no promising leads in the murders. I can scarce get a wink of sleep knowing that the killer is still at large. Judging by your furrowed brow, I take it this sorry business troubles you as much as it does me. I had been pondering my encounter. I wasn't certain for a time, but there could be no doubt. It was a winged eyeball that I witnessed. It's implausible that I could have mistaken so distinct a creature for a Banamite. Indeed. But you and I were realms apart. How could we have both seen it at precisely the same time? What's more, our adventure friend here had a run-in with a Banamite at the very spot you claim to see that fiendish eyeball. Isn't that right? There must be an explanation. I know I saw an eyeball with wings. I would wager an apple tart on it. Ooh, he's serious. But listen up. Mayhap it's not as mysterious as we're making it out to be. There's no reason why there couldn't be... Of course! There must be more than one of the buggers. Ugh, it's so obvious. But then that means, since there have been repeat sightings of these fiends, then there must be even more victims as yet undiscovered. Gulp. Shifty face. I do believe we're out of our depth. We ought to leave the rest to the expert. I guess that's me? Yes, we're just civilians after all. Good luck, adventurer. It was a pleasure knowing you. While I burn to know the truth, some things are best left unknown. Lest you have forgotten, it was at the rocky area to the west that I had my encounter. Sure to discover aught of note, you will want to alert the authorities. There is a guardhouse nearby. The serpents there should be pleased for any information that pertains to the security of the region. And so that's over there and talking and blah 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 blah. I will not get to in English. I will not get to that in this video. I will get to that in the next video. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.